must have milk. Extreme milk!
And now for my predictions. In football news, I'm predicting Cincinnati over Baltimore because of my man John Kitna. New Orleans over Atlanta, especially if Vic doesn't play. San Francisco over Tampa Bay, and Buffalo over Washington. Now for the World Series, I'm predicting a classic of Chicago versus Boston, Boston in 7. For Stanley Cup playoffs, which is a long ways away, I'd have to say Red Wings versus Avalanche, but Red Wings win in 6. Thank you for tuning in to Coach's Corner. Next week we'll have Derek Jeter, who I personally hate, but the directors are making me do it anyway.
Thanks, Coach. That was a great report.
So, Raul, what do you think about the upcoming World Series?
Well, Lars, I'm going to have to go with Coach on this one. Say the Cubbies are going to win this. As you probably know, it's been over a half a century since the Cubs even got into the World Series, and if they get there this year, I'm going to be going for them all the way.
I'm backing you up on that one, Raul. They did just devastate the Marlins last night, so they're well on their way.
In Olympia, Washington, special education students were told to pick through recyclables and haul trash without pay as part of a Washington high school's work experience program. Parents were outraged. School officials said that many special education students will do janitorial work after high school. Custodial work was part of the program because the district couldn't find enough outside workplaces for students. The Washington Protection and Advocacy, a nonprofit legal organization, is looking to see if students' rights were violated.
That having been said, let's go to a weather report from Larry Jones.
Thank you, Raul. This is Larry Jones with your national weather forecast. In the southwest is a low pressure zone. Looks like some rainy weather there. In the northwest and midwest is a high pressure zone. Should be fairly sunny throughout. Moving through the center of the country and up through New York is a cold front. Looks like it's going to be a little rainy and cloudy for them. And in North Carolina, there is Hurricane Isabel, still at full force. In North Carolina, we have our correspondent, Dick Helms. Dick, what do you have for us?
This is Dick Helms reporting live from Hurricane Isabel in North Carolina. The wind is picking up and it's raining really hard. I don't know how much longer I can be out here. For more coverage on Hurricane Isabel, please tune in tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Thanks, Dick. Looks like the weather's getting pretty bad out there in North Carolina. I'm glad I'm here in this warm studio. Anyways, let's get to next week's 5-day forecast. Monday, it's going to be about 92 and sunny. Tuesday, it's probably going to drop down to about 90, be partially cloudy. Wednesday, it's going to go down to 89. It's going to be mostly cloudy around town. Thursday, it's going to jump back up to 93 and be sunny pretty much every place. Friday, it's going to go back down to 88, and it's going to be pretty rainy. That's all for the weather forecast today. Back to you, Raul.
Thanks, Larry. Now, with that said, let's go to our next story.
Large portions of Baghdad were in turmoil Tuesday after attackers fired explosives into the foreign ministry compound. Former intelligence officers demanding payback or jobs hurled paving stones at American forces, and U.S. soldiers confronted a large demonstration of Shiite Muslims. There were no known injuries in any case of the accidents, but traffic in the center of the capital was at a near standstill. Streets around the foreign ministry in Saddam Hussein's former Republican palace were blocked by U.S. soldiers in the armored vehicles and Iraqi police. The compounds are about a half-mile apart.
Last night, the Democratic primary debate was held in Arizona. My favorite was Wesley Clark. I heard him say some good things. I mean, he's a 4-star general and a former head of NATO, But he still had an experience to know that the war is not a good thing, and we need to take steps to, not be in it much longer, as well as other steps to prevent anything like this from happening again. Lars, what do you think about the debate?
That was one pro that I saw on Wesley Clark. I saw that he was the former leader of NATO, so he is great on foreign affairs. But
Yeah.
I was actually leaning more towards Howard Dean.
Oh, really?
He's more liberal, and just by watching his debates, I can tell he's full of self-confidence, and he knows what he's doing.
Hey, I'll concede you that point, Sean.
That's all for tonight's program.
Tune in tomorrow at 5 to get your news an hour early. Thank you, and good night.